Namaste, welcome. I am Tiina Kivinen, and I'm so happy to have you here with me for this video. Ally and I are just so happy to have you join us for this immersion for the waxing crescent. So fitting for the beginning of a new cycle, a new lunar cycle, a new yearly cycle, beginning the new year with a sense of renewal and a fresh perspective, setting intention and creating a foundation of self-care and self-nourishment and space to listen to yourself, listen to your own wisdom. In this practice today, it's a mini restorative which will focus on a posture known as Vipariti Karani Mudra, a beautiful restorative pose that is really lovely any time of day, but is especially helpful anytime you need some extra calming and soothing for your nervous system. And in this practice, we're going to come right into the pose, and that will be the experience. And you're always welcome to add in other movements or postures before or after as well. And know that for this posture, the main thing that you need is a wall space. So I'll be guiding against this wall. You might also like to have some kind of a prop, like a folded blanket or pillow to place under your head. And also I have another blanket here, and the option is to actually have a blanket underneath your lower back, or some people like to use a bolster or a cushion as well. So to get set up, I'm going to start by taking my folded blanket and placing it here just underneath where my lower back will be. And if you're not familiar with this posture, it can be a little bit awkward to get into. So I just encourage you to give yourself space and time, and take your time, be patient with the process. Okay, so I find it helpful to get started to come right up close to the wall space where I'm hoping to rest. So I have one hip right up against the wall. And I'm also starting to come up a little bit onto this folded blanket that I have positioned. From there, a little maneuver coming down onto the back so the legs can come up the wall. And when you find that you're here up against the wall, some of us might have a difficult time getting really close, but you can give it a try to wiggle as close as is comfortable for you. So you want to wiggle your way close to the wall, maybe bringing along a pillow underneath your head or any extra blankets to help yourself feel really cozy. Now, you might keep a little bend in the knees here, legs extending up the wall, and know that it's okay if your body isn't up really close to the wall. Just get as close as is possible or comfortable for you. And our legs come up the wall, making sure that the rest of the body is comfortable, maybe attending to the position of the head, the position of the arms. Perhaps the palms are facing up as a gesture of being open and receptive. And as you land in this position, Vipariti Karani Mudra, perhaps the eyes close down. And as the eyes close down, connect with your breath. Beginning with a few full yogic breaths. Inhaling to expand the belly, the middle ribs, and the upper chest. Exhaling to release, to soften into the earth. Continuing to welcome the rise and fall of the breath. To sense each wave of breath carrying you, guiding you down into stillness. And this posture can be so nourishing to lift the legs up. So we spend so much time in our days being carried around by the legs and feet. As we lift the legs up, we're inviting our legs and feet to relax against the wall, to let go of any effort, any need to hold up the body. We're simultaneously allowing the back of the body to surrender into the earth, into the support. Relaxing and letting go with every breath. You may bring to your awareness an image of the waxing crescent moon, a little sliver of light on the right side. Trusting that this waxing crescent will continue to grow and illuminate through the coming lunar cycle. There's a natural movement towards growth and renewal in our lives, within ourselves. Just as every morning the sun rises again. Each breath in presents that opportunity to be renewed. Life naturally renews itself. So let's settle into a trust in the natural expression of renewal. Life renews itself through you. Letting awareness settle into the heart space. Here in your heart, you may start to welcome the Sankalpa, the intention that you've been working with throughout this week. Or perhaps there's just something arising now that feels true as your heart's calling. Or perhaps you're resting in the sweetness of no intention, of simply trusting in your life's renewal, trusting in rebirth. Welcoming this intention. You might be repeating it to yourself a few times or bringing in the image or feeling of it. Trusting that this Sankalpa, this intention, is already within you. It's all around you. Rest within this trust. And as you rest here a little longer, Welcome the medicine of self-trust and self-compassion. Allow yourself to be nourished. Believing in your worth. Believing in your truth. Held and supported by life itself. You are welcome to stay here as long as you need, knowing that when you do come out of the pose, you always want to move out of this pose very slowly and gently and spend a bit of time laying on your side first before you come up to seated or standing. If you're joining me in transition, you may start to wiggle the fingers and toes, maybe rotate your ankles, and let your head rock side to side. You might hug your knees into your chest for a moment, giving yourself a little loving hug, massaging your back. And take your time to roll over to one side into a fetal position, tucking in for a few breaths, the original pose of rebirth. So when you're ready to come up, gently pressing yourself all the way up to a seated position. Again, you may be taking your time to be closing in your own way. Bringing one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, with eyes closed down, simmering in the sweetness of your practice. Welcoming once again your Sankalpa, your intention, planting the seed within yourself to be nourished, to grow, with the energy of renewal that comes along naturally with the new year, with the new lunar cycle, and with every new day, with every inhalation. Life is renewed. Let's draw our hands together at the heart. Om Shanti Shanti. May all beings live in peace. Thank you. Much love, everyone. So be well. Thank you for joining us, and do leave a comment. I would love to hear from you and let us know. Ally and I are so excited to be offering this immersion as well as our trainings together, retreats, Moon to Moon Restorative Yoga Teacher Training, starting a new round in the lunar cycle to come, the end of January. Thank you, everyone.